All right. Today we got a real beauty. She's titled 1954 Triumph T110 Tiger. It's a pre-unit, which which are just getting crazy hard to come by. But it's kind of a barn find. Uh, Actually stopped and I was actually going out picking up something else on a back road and stopped because old fella had an old Honda just sitting in his yard. So stopped in to ask. We got talking, and 4 hours later, I went back into his building, and there she sat with a fistful of other bikes. So gonna kind of save her out of there. It hadn't been run in decades. Um, but yeah, I got her back here. I haven't done a whole lot to it. Little things, but as far as drain the oil, drained everything out of it, cleaned everything out, make sure that didn't want to run with all that old junk in it, but obviously, but yeah, got everything cleaned out, lubed up, um, rebuilt carb, uh, new points in the it's the Joe Hunt Magneto, which is very hard to, well, you can't really see it. This guy right here, yeah, it's Joe Hunt. Um, but yeah, I went ahead and added the lights and stuff like that. They came with it in just a box of stuff, and so I went ahead and mounted up the lights and that good stuff, and kind of wired it in, rough wired it in. I put a little fusible link down here so I could test it out. But yeah, uh, you'll probably want to wire it a little prettier because, like the little clip that I put on the end of this, it's um, doesn't look doesn't look real awesome, but it is a fusible link and I had it. So anyway, the lights do work. It's 1954, so the system is 6 volt. Um, but the lights and everything that he had for it were 12 volt. He said it was actually him and his buddy's bike, and his buddy built it, and he helped out with all the engine work and all that, rebuilt the engine, all that stuff, and he went off to the military, signed the title over to him, said when he gets back, um, he can sign it back over. He never came back, so that's how the bike came to be. And the old boy I got it from, he just never messed with it after that, never rode it. But anyway, the lights do work. It's the only thing the battery does down here. I don't have a battery on it right now. Tested it all out, make sure everything's worked, everything's wired in, and I got it all wired in fine. But yeah, when you put the battery on it, it's got a switch for lights. Turns all the lights on, front light, back light, your brake light. I wired in a little switch down here. So all the linkage and everything, he did that, or they did that. With the forward controls and all that, they did that. But I got a little switch down here that I strap into the linkage. That way, when you hit the brake light comes on. The headlights, uh, it's got low beams, and then you put it in the middle, and the headlights off, and flip it up, and it's high beams. So it all works. It pretty much sits exactly the way I found it with, you know, the only thing I really did was the wiring, you know, switches and stuff like that. So it's got, so it does have the lights. They didn't get around to putting the a front brake lever or cable on it, but everything is there as far as on here. You know, on the drum itself. When you pull the drum, it does brake. Rear brakes work. I know because I took it for a ride. I've taken it on a couple small rides just to kind of get a feel for it. I mean, seats in good shape. Little back bumpers, you know, seats in real good shape. Tank has been had that sealer put in it and stuff like that. I could probably use a little love, use a little attention, but I can't find any leaks in it either. So, I mean, I've been sitting for a minute, and it's, boy, it's just pretty. But I think with all the guys who live, breathe, and eat, sleep, and die these old Triumphs, man, you ain't gonna want to miss out on this because they just don't come up. Pre-units are really hard to come by. This one's obviously had, you know, they were building a chopper. I mean, it's got a good solid Springer front end. It's a very, very cool bike. If I already didn't have a couple bikes myself, I'd have it. But let's kick the fuel on. Start her up for you. Yeah, she runs good. I didn't give it a real strong kick off that first one, but yeah, I mean, you ready for it? You can kick it off. It'll pop right off for you. The hard stuff's done. I mean, now it's and personally, if it were me, I like that it's been sitting that long, and it is. I mean, the guy went all out. You know, I mean, he painted the frame and, you know, kind of set it up. Very simplistic. You don't get much more simple than this setup, but and I like a simple look. But that's just me. I mean, this thing's ready to make it your own. The hard stuff's done. On a rebuild engine, I mean, it's a rebuilt pre-unit. The engines alone, I mean, I've watched them multiple times, seized up, going for, you know, $2,500. So that's just for the engine. This thing is it's a running engine, a riding bike. I've taken it for a couple rides. It's just it's a good looking bike, but it's ready to have have a new butt on that seat. Somebody's just going to enjoy and appreciate and just appreciate it. Finish it out the way you want. Do what you want with this bike, or leave it the way it sits. People are going to ask you about it. You stop into a place, people are going to talk to you. So, but yeah, good luck.